Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to the Mixer, and this is the third in a sub-series within the Mixer series, where I'm going to be talking about another place that I visited. In case you guys missed it, I have already recorded 2 other videos that I will leave here in the outro screen after this one, that one time I went to New York in 2004 and then Islands of Adventure in 2007. I put in some photos and stuff, However, those videos were recorded in the old format here of vlogging on my channel, and now I'm going to be getting into this new format here, so I hopefully everything looks a little better, the lighting, the blurriness and all that stuff, the whole ambience and background thing. And today I'm going to be talking about a trip that I took 2 years after going to Islands of Adventure, which was to North Carolina, and it was a really fun trip because I went with like 15 other people, I went with some family friends, me, my parents, and them, and their family is funny because they have like 4 children, all of them were buddies of mine back in the day. I'm not going to mention them by names, and I'm not going to show photos of them here. As always, the shows that I'm going to show you guys are going to be of myself, just me, because I will try to maybe show a few in groups, but I don't have the permission of all of these people to use their photos, so it's gonna be a little harder, and tracking all of them down individually, a lot of people went on this trip, man. Tracking all of them down on Facebook and sending them messages asking for their permissions to use the photos is gonna be a hassle, so maybe where I can, I'll blur their faces or something. I'll try to get creative, but I'm going to prioritize the photos that I am in, where you can pretty much only see me, because it's just gonna make it easier in the long run. Nobody sues me down the line, but then again, why would they sue me? We're all still friends, right? I mean, yeah, but then again, I probably shouldn't take any risks because I don't really know. Like, there might be one of those things where it's like, I don't know, man. Okay, let's just get into it. Okay, so North Carolina. It was the second time in my life that I saw snow and experienced snow. I'm also experiencing a blackout right now because the sun went behind a cloud or something. Holy crap, this is annoying. I think the lighting is gonna suck for a few minutes, but just bear with me here, okay? So anyway, snow. Okay, first time I was in New York, second time I was in North Carolina, and it was really cool because we actually all of us stayed in a rented cabin, a lot of people sleeping in the same place, but it was really nice and cozy. It was cool. It was the first time that I was exposed to something because New York was different, than North Carolina. North Carolina is much more rural, New York is more about a city, metropolitan thing, so we kind of went into the rural side of North Carolina. We stayed in a cabin in a place where there were a lot of other cabins and shacks, those very cliche tropes of drinking some hot chalk with a rocking chair, outside of the cabin. It was really cool, and like we did a lot of different activities. We explored a lot. Every single day we did something different, and we were all Brazilians, so we were a very closely knit group. I do believe one of my buddies was actually celebrating his birthday that week, or over the weekend, but at some point there was a little birthday party for him, there was a cake and everything. It was really cool, and this trip was notable for a number of different reasons. I really enjoyed it a lot. That goes without saying, and it was nice because some of my friends brought their then girlfriends. They were all American, so we kind of had a really cool conversation there. Everything was really friendly. I remember this trip more for the friendliness of everybody around me more than the actual trip itself. What we did, I think it was really nice, and just the overall atmosphere was really enjoyable. The whole atmosphere in and out of itself was really cool, and experiencing a new state, a new place outside of Florida, growing up in South Florida, you kind of get used to the heat, the really hot weather, so going to a place like North Carolina where there's a lot of snow, it gets a little complicated, but I think we actually did pretty well in terms of adapting. I think it was actually, there was nothing wrong with that, but everybody had fun, everybody had a good time, that as far as I know. So before I continue, I'm trying to remember what happened as I go along. Let me show you guys the first few photos here. Pretty cool, huh? I don't even know what I showed. I'm gonna see that in post-production when I actually edit the video and put the photos in. But I'm pretty sure I chose something really cool. So aside from the friendliness and the overall aesthetic of the people there, the overall aesthetic of the people there. the overall friendliness of the people there. Let's just keep it at that, you know. Let's talk about the actual trip itself, huh? A few notable places that we went to, you know, and one of the ones that I most remember vividly was Grandfather Mountain, if I'm not mistaken, you know. One of the highest points, I think, in North Carolina, and it was really cool because we took a little hike. All of us walked up there, and there was such an amazing scenic view, you know. It kind of reminded me of Canada. I have a friend who lives in Canada, and every week she goes on hikes and sends me photos and stuff. It's really cool, and it reminds me of that, you know, because it was a really long hike all the way up to the top of the mountain, you know, and you could see like the entire landscape in the distance, you know, all of the other distant mountains, you know. It looked like a freaking picturesque painting, man. It was really awesome. We were really high up, and it was still cold even though the sun was blaring right on our faces, you know. And I remember that very vividly. I remember the hike. I remember talking to my friends, you know. It was really nice. We took a lot of different photos. And another really crazy thing was, oh boy, the frozen lake. There was a frozen lake, man, and it was a scary experience, you know, because my buddies were coaxing me to go there, of course. They were kind of egging me on to go. Everybody was doing it, you know. Everybody was standing on top of the ice and taking photos, but I was really freaking scared because it's a frozen lake, man. You're really gonna trust it? It's ice. Even though it is very thick, it was really scary. And of course, we didn't go too deep. We kind of stayed towards where the shallows are, you know. But it was still crazy. I took a few photos there as well, but I really didn't... it was really freaking crazy. It was really scary. I do believe it was one of the scariest moments of my life, you know, worse than riding a roller coaster at SeaWorld. It was really freaking crazy. I stood there for a few minutes walking really slowly, you know, with a lot of trepidation. I was just walking very slow. My parents took a couple of photos and I just left really quickly, you know. I was really scared. I was scared for my friends too. I mean, I was afraid one of us was gonna fall through thin ice or something, you know. But it was really cool also experiencing that, because you usually see these kinds of things only in movies and TV shows, you know. You never even think it's real. Like, how can a place get so damn cold that the lake freezes over? But that's just it, right? It's not the entire lake that freezes, it's just the surface. So if you walk over a patch of thin ice, you can actually fall through, you know. You're going to fall into the water. It's not all frozen under the surface, only the surface is frozen, and that water is going to be ice cold, buddy. People die from this, you know. It's a really serious thing. So it was a little daunting at times, you know. It was a little scary seeing that happen, but I don't know. Me personally, I still enjoyed it. I really liked it a lot. You know, taking the photos was good. Nobody got hurt, thank God. Nobody fell through the ice, but it was still a little complicated, you know. I do believe that, like, I'm not really afraid of heights, but I am afraid of falling from heights. I do feel a little comfortable if I'm really high up, you know, depending on where I am. But climbing to the top of Grandfather Mountain was much better than freaking, you know, walking over thin ice. That was just scary as hell. That was quite an experience there, I'll tell you that. But yeah, let's take a look at some more photos here, huh? Oh yeah, this other place that we went to was actually really cool as well. It was like inside of a cave of sorts, a system of caverns, you know, and I forgot what the name was, but we actually had a really cute tour guide. Her name was Paige. I really wanted to ask her out on a date, you know, and I should have if I had known that just a few months later I would leave the United States, you know, for so many years. I probably would have, you know. It would have been really cool. And but still, she was really cute, you know. I added her on MySpace some time ago. We talked for a bit, but then I never talked to her again. But anyway, she took us on a tour of the caves. You know, it was really cool because there are certain stalactites. Can I say that? I don't know if that's the proper term, stalactites or something else, but there was something in the cave that we were literally prohibited to touch, you know, because any contact with human skin on these specific stalactites would make it so they would never grow again. And they had been growing for hundreds of years up until that point, you know, which is a little scary because, I mean, it's alive, right? I mean, it's almost like a fungus. It's alive and moving and growing. I took a few photos next to them, you know. There's one that I looked really spaced out, almost like I'm high or something. I'm like freaking... But anyway, aside from that, it was crazy because if you're claustrophobic, then this is not the tour for you, because you get really cramped in there with a lot of other people, you know. There are places that you can go inside and take photos where it's just so small and cramped that you actually feel kind of scared. Like, I don't consider myself too claustrophobic, but if I am stuck in a very small place, I might feel like I'm in like an egg or something, you know. Even if you're not claustrophobic, I don't think you're gonna feel comfortable being stuck in a tight little place, you know? So that's kind of the point. But it was really nice, a very interesting tour. I saw things that I had never seen up until my life until that point, you know. But I gotta admit, man, even though there's a guided path, you know where you're going, just follow the tour guide. It's pretty much a straight, narrow line from start to finish. It is scary because you kind of think of movies like As Above, So Below, like where you get lost in an underground cave and it's like a series of mazes, you know, it's a labyrinth, you know, and you're pretty much just die of starvation or thirst or something, you know. But that wasn't the case with us, you know. Fortunately, we did have a very experienced guide who kind of helped us all over the place, and it was cool. It was cool. I think it was cool. And one of the things that I remember, of course, is that, and also snowboarding, you know. I got my first taste of snowboarding ever in North Carolina, but I sucked at it. You know, I really freaking sucked, and oh boy, I don't even know how to describe it, man. Like, I was so terrible at it that at one point my parents didn't let me do it anymore because one of my friends got hurt while doing it. He got a whiplash, had to actually go to the hospital, the poor sap, you know, and I guess my parents were a little scared after that and they didn't let me, but I was still pissed because I wanted to try anyway. And but whenever I did try, I couldn't even stand up. Like, I would get up on the snowboard and just fall. Like, I couldn't even properly, I have no balance at all. I can't skateboard, I can't snowboard, I can't do anything that involves a board. Surfboard, I have tried before and I do suck at it. I'm modest enough to say that I suck, you know, so I probably would never try again. It's really not my thing. But I did try, you know. Some of my friends picked up on it pretty quickly, you know. They actually did pretty well, but one of them who did learn pretty well is the one who suffered the accident, you know. And but I tried for like maybe a full hour before giving up, you know. I'm not even close to the ground I could go, dude, you know. I just really freaking sucked. It wasn't really that good, but I still enjoyed myself anyway. It was a really interesting experience, you know. I had never in my life ever tried snowboarding, so it was nice, you know, donning all of the gear, you know, putting that stuff there, you know. It was really cool. I took a lot of candid photos as well. This trip was basically a documentary of my personal life, you know. There were so many photos that were taken, a few more of which I'm gonna show now. Another fond memory that I have is going to a museum whose name eludes me to this day. I don't even remember if there are any photos that we took of the name of it, but we went to sort of a museum of sorts, you know, because North Carolina is essentially a tourist trap. You know, there are a lot of places to buy souvenirs and stuff, and this museum in particular was really cool because it kind of showcased the history of North Carolina. It talked about this one guy whose name I think was Daniel Boone, who was a pioneer and explorer in the area, you know, who went up the mountain and then came back or spoke to nature, some weird Pocahontas crap, I don't know, you know, but there was a little part of the museum dedicated just to him. I'm guessing he was a big shot in North Carolina, you know. So it was really nice, you know. I took a few photos with some stuffed animals, some statues, you know. Well, we didn't buy any souvenirs, me and my parents, we didn't buy anything, but I mean, if I had known what was going to happen, I was going to move out, you know. We were going to leave the US, I probably would have bought something. I bought a few souvenirs in New York, you know. I still have them. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm going to show you later in another video, but I have a Statue of Liberty up there, you know, on my little decoration. It's not looking too well, it's a little worn out, but, you know, I did buy it in 2004, so yeah, but I was a kid, so I didn't really take care of my souvenirs all that well. But I still have it, you know, it means something, it's really cool, so yeah, should have bought some stuff in North Carolina. But anyway, aside from the museum, we also went to a lot of fast food joints, you know, because being Brazilians, you know, and also knowing how much money we can save if we just buy fast food, that's basically all we did. Surprisingly, I don't remember too much of lunch, what we ate for lunch. I don't remember if we ever ate back at the cabin or actually outside, you know, in different restaurants, but we did consume a lot of McDonald's, that's for sure, you know. There are even photos of us in a damn McDonald's, you know. it's kind of the go-to meal for all of us, you know, especially when you're trying to save up money. So yeah, that was really nice also in a sense, and I really miss those little moments, you know, all of us hanging out at McDonald's, and we all we're talking about like 15 or 16 people in a van, dude, you know, driven by one person. It was a really big van that all of us happened to fit in, you know. It was really crazy. I even remember at one point watching a movie with my friend's girlfriend, well, ex-girlfriend today, right, at the time, you know. I don't know why that specifically happened. She just asked me to watch a movie. Okay, so hey dude, I'm just like, if you watch this video, I'm just gonna say his name, okay, Jonathan, if you're watching this video, okay, your ex, she invited me, okay, she asked me to watch the movie with her, okay, so I just did it out of peer pressure, okay, so you know, it's but besides, you guys aren't even together today, so that doesn't even matter, okay. You got yourself your little kids there and the stuff. Okay, let me just continue. Okay, let me just continue to the thing here before I get off topic. Before I get off topic. Damn it. Okay, so anyway, the trip was really cool, a lot of fun, you know. We did a lot of different things. We explored a lot of different areas, you know, and driving through with the van through different places, you know, seeing very little traffic. There was a lot of little traffic in North Carolina. I don't know if it's because it's a very small town in like a rural area, or if maybe it's just because we went there like during the holiday season. I don't remember when we went, but it wasn't in December. It was actually in early 2009, because by mid 2009 I was already back in Brazil, so I think it was sometime in early 09, but probably around the season where people are still kind of like shopping or something, you know. I don't really know, but yeah, so that's when we went, and it was really cool, you know. A lot of different photos of me and my parents in different places, and I'm trying to remember other things that we did. We during the nights in the cabins, it was really fun. We all had those really nice chats around the what's it called? The log fire? No, there's a name for it. Not the campfire. The cabin fire? The thing where you put logs into it. The fireplace. There we go. We had a lot of really cool conversations around the fireplace, drinking hot cocoa, you know. I fondly remember that. It could have just been Nesquik or something, but you guys get the idea, right? It was really nice hanging out with my buddies, you know, talking about random stuff, and it would be really nice if we could go again, you know, like the day that I move back to the US, if I ever do, you know, we all take like the same exact people take the same exact road trip there, you know, all these years later, and just do it all over again. I would kill for that opportunity, you know. I would honestly kill for that. It would just be amazing. Before it happens though, let me show you guys the last series of photos here before I wrap it up. Okay, so that's enough reminiscing, huh? I think that's enough for now. I think we're good. I'm gonna wrap it up because it's getting really long. You know, I was expecting it to be long. I was expecting it to be just as long as the New York one, because I do have a lot of photos. I think I have just as much photos from North Carolina as in New York. So I was expecting it to get pretty long, but I'm gonna wrap it up because my camera's getting all hot. You know, I gotta let it cool for a bit before we're going to the next one. So in all, guys, North Carolina was an amazing experience. I loved it so much, you know, and I look at it today with a lot of nostalgia, you know, because I was living in the US and I went to a different state to explore, and I have friends there today who do this, and I always feel so jealous. I get envious. It's white envy. It's not like I want you guys to die or anything, but I really do feel very jealous. But hopefully it will happen again soon, and I'll be able to visit other places and with friends, you know, or by myself, just to chill, you know, just to take some time off. Hopefully it will happen soon, you know. Who knows? I might be back in America before you guys know it, huh? I'm already saving up money. But anyway, so that's it for today. Let me know in the comments below if you guys like this format of video, if you guys like me talking about places that I've been to and showing you photos and stuff, you know, because I would be more than glad to do more of them as the videos go on, you know. Although eventually I might run out of places or photos, you know, or both, but I can definitely do more. I still have a few more ideas, so just let me know if you guys want to see more, okay? And that's it for now. If you guys happen to like this video, and I hope you do, it's a very personal thing, give it a like, and also subscribe to my channel because I release videos every single day. And while you're at it, might as well hit the notification bell to know exactly what time I release each video, because I upload every single day, usually multiple videos per day, okay? That's it for now, guys. Thanks for sticking around to the end. This is Chazzy, signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro screen.